Hi. Now, in a move, or I will say in a significant move, which basically underscores a shift in Donald Trump's policy alignment, the president elect has actually distanced himself from the neoconservative wing of the Republican Party, and this was actually notably highlighted through a recent social media post, which announced excluding of key neocon figures like Mike Pompeo and Nikki Haley from the upcoming administration. And to be very precise, on November 9th, Mr. Donald Trump he took Truth Social, which is exclusively his own controlled social media platform, and he announced that neither Haley, who was his former UN ambassador, or Mr. Mike Pompeo, his former Secretary of State, would be invited to join the new administration. And see, it is not just a personal decision. It is, I think, basically a political declaration. And he said, actually, I will not be inviting former Ambassador Nikki Haley or former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to join Trump administration, which is currently in formation. And he also thanked them for their past services. So this is a very, actually, you can say, a very good move, or very, he said no in a very formal way, he by thanking them for their previous services, but also saying no to them and shutting his doors for them. And it shows that Trump's foreign policy is shifting, and exclusion of Haley and Pompeo can be seen as a part of broader recalibration of Trump's foreign policy alignment. And his campaign rhetoric, in which he promised to end wars, especially he talked about a quickly ending of Ukraine conflict, and he also criticized aid to Kiev. It was very sharply in contrast with the hawkish stance against Russia by Mr. Mike Pompeo. Similarly, if you look at the actions of Miss Nikki Haley, she was having an, you can say, interventionist type of approach, especially in case of Middle East. And even in her previous tenure in Trump 1.0 administration, she was having a very interventionist kind of approach, and this approach of her as well as of Mike Pompeo goes against the America First policy which Donald Trump is proclaiming. So this distancing might suggest to me a move towards a foreign policy that focuses more on economic competition rather than military engagement, and aligning with the current sentiments among some Republican voters who are wary of overseas military conflicts. And I think this is the biggest part of this kind of victory which Mr. Donald Trump has got, and he is, you can say, one of the most powerful Republican president right now, or he's right now not president but president elect. So I'll say, let's talk on the conclusion. Is it a new direction? I'll say that Trump's decision not to include Nikki Haley or Mike Pompeo in his administration is more than just a snub. It's possibly indicative of a broader ideological shift within the Republican Party. While Mr. Donald Trump has always been somewhat of an outsider among the traditional Republican base, or even the bureaucracy which is being dominated by the ideology of Republican Party, but this move could signal an even more pronounced pivot away from the neocon policies towards a more nationalist type of policy and less of interventionist approach. But as Trump prepares for his second term in the Oval Office, the political landscape watches closely to see how this apparent rejection of neocon influence will translate into policy. And this is what only time will tell us. But for now, I think Trump's social media post has already made it abundantly clear that he is setting a course away from the traditional neocon hawkish playbook. Possibly, he wants a new chapter in the US foreign and strategic policy.